Hello, Bonita Bay Club members. I'm here again with Hal Akins for Cypress Update number 2. We're about exactly 4 weeks into the project. Before we get rolling, Hal, I gotta compliment you on your outfit you got today. This was not planned, so it's a good thing we're not on Twitter or anything about what people would say about us being dressed alike. But anyway, we're here on number 6. Behind us is the green, and this is as you were hitting this way. This is the left side where it's going to be the chipping area, where the greens mix is actually going to come out, and it's going to be in champion grass, the same as on the greens house. So kind of go through the process of this design, which is very different than anything we've done on the other golf courses.
Well, I like your outfit.
Well, thank you. I appreciate
Great
that.
minds think alike, right? So, here we are. We're standing in the middle of what we call a surround. Some people may know it as a catchment. It's the shortcut area that's going to be outside of the green. Well, as you can see behind us, the gray is the granite gravel that is over the greens well, and then what we're standing in is the surround area where we have drainage also, but this is a different kind of drainage gravel here. So as you said, this grass that we're going to put in these surround areas is something unique. I don't think that we're going to see that down here very often.
No.
I'm not so sure that anybody down here is going to have this feature, but we're going to take the greens grass and we're going to bring it right on down here, and it's not going to be the same as the greens height. We mow our greens around 1/10 of an inch. This will be maybe 2/10 of an inch, maybe around what we call 200 thousandths.
Sure.
And so, but it's going to be really, really tight. It's going to be much more puttable than what folks are going to be used to at other clubs, or even our clubs. Around Bay Island and Marsh, we have a lot of surround areas, but we have those out of grass with our fairway grass, and it's mowed tight. So I think it's going to be a really cool feature that people are going to really, really enjoy.
Yeah, one of the interesting parts about the construction process that I didn't really process until I came out and I asked a question, then I said, oh yeah, because when we did Bay Island and Marsh, this gravel blanket was set a lot further down into that green well.
Yeah.
But now we're going to bring the greens mix and spill it out into this area. So a little bit of a different construction project. And I know it was a little bit of a learning curve to start with for everybody involved.
Yep. Well, your greens well has 12 inches of what we call greens mix, which is a sand and some other medium mixture, and we're doing something different there as well. The traditional way of building greens is with what they call a sand peat mixture. Sometimes it's an 85% sand, 15% peat. We like to go with the less than that. We go like a 90-10. Well, this is a little different. We're going to use a ceramic product called Profile.
Okay.
And the reason we like the Profile is because it actually enhances the drainage of your greens. And when you add peat to a sand, it actually slows down the drainage, and you put that peat in there for moisture and nutrient retention. Well, this Profile, it also has moisture and nutrient retention, but it actually helps with the percolation rate within your medium. And so typically you'd have 12 inches of greens mix. Because the Profile sand mix perks so well, we can get away with only putting 10 inches in,
okay,
which is what actually the manufacturer specified. And so we save a few bucks there. A couple inches, that's 1/6 of the golf.
There's a lot of square feet here.
Not only do we use that mixture on the greens, we're bringing it down here into the surround areas. So there will be 6 inches of this sand Profile greens mix that will be on top of this floor that we're standing on. So what you see there is about a couple of inches, really, or maybe 4 inches, I guess you'd say. It should be about 4 inches. And then, so you'll fill 4 inches more, or you get 10 more inches, but 6 more will come across.
It'll spill out, yeah.
Right, so you got like a 4-inch well on top of that gravel.
Yeah, very cool. I know that when these green surrounds, these runoff areas, these catch areas, as you will, I know they're going to be running a lot faster than the greens I grew up on the public golf course in Iowa. So very cool. Going to give you a huge array of shot selection. You can be real creative, or once you learn the Texas wedge again, and maybe you don't have to be creative because you're just going to putt it from out in these areas, which I know I'm probably going to do a lot. So anyway, kind of some cool information on one of the biggest features of this redo of the Cypress golf course. There's some other things that have been going on, obviously, since we last did an update. Some really cool stuff. I think we did it on day 4 last time. So here we are about 4 weeks in, so about 3 weeks later. So why don't we go ahead and do some drone shots, and we'll take everybody around 4 through 9 and kind of show everybody what's been going on.
Great, let's do it.
Okay, Hal, here we are. We're kind of set up right above the tee boxes on number 4. You can see they're all shaped out there, and we'll go ahead and take a ride down the hole as you kind of tell the members what they're looking at.
Well, you know, we have gotten quite a bit done on this hole. All the tees are shaped as you can see. It's kind of hard to tell, but there is a waste bunker shaped out along the lake edge on the left side of the hole that runs the first half of the golf hole pretty much. As we go down further, you'll see where the new fairway bunkers are shaped into the features there. We just completed the wall up by the green, so we haven't really done any work as far as the green is concerned. We've been really kind of focusing on number 6 and 7 over here, but that we'll be backtracking here pretty quick and jumping on that and really putting a lot of effort into getting that. We had to get the wall in, and now we have to backfill, and then we can start our shaping process.
Yeah, as we kind of look at this, it looks like there's a lot of the backfill is being done today, even just from this morning when I was out there looking at it.
They're getting a little bit in there. We'll once they get that in, then we can actually start building the green.
Yeah, it kind of looks like it's really taking shape there today.
They're gonna need a lot of dirt here, because this wall is not going to be where the elevation of the green is. The green will rise up from the wall, and there will be a bunker down the left side and around the back that'll kind of flash up to the surface of the green from the wall. So that's how we'll get that extra elevation with the green surface coming up from that wall. Should be a great look from the road, and a really cool look, you know, from the approach shot.
Okay, well, let's get a little bit more elevation here, and while we're right here, let's go ahead and hit number 5. As you can see here on number 5, those tee boxes are in. You can tell that that's a little bit of a more sandy area by how dry it is.
Well,
right
that hole has been in place for almost 2 weeks now. That is the only hole that we have 100% shaped at this point. It has the gravel blank in it, so everything is set there. All the bunkers are intact. We got our drainage in the front of the green. As you can see, we got this nice approach in the front of the green here. This green is not quite as high as it was, and you'll notice that there's a large catchment area right in front of the green, whereas before there was a fairway and it just kind of swept up to the green surface. Now where you see the drainage lines in there, that is a small catchment area. Well, it's not really small. There's a catchment area there between the fairway and the green. It's kind of a neat feature. Yeah,
that's a good look right there. That's similar to what we were just standing in, so it's kind of good to get that aerial from about 50 feet above the green right there. So pretty cool look to see that.
This green actually reaches to the right back and the left back a little bit further than it did before, if you notice that.
Yeah, looks good. Looks like we're gonna have some extra hole locations on there. All right, well, let's cruise over number 6. Okay, Hal, we're gonna go over number 6 here. I'm gonna start us out over Mockley Road and bring us over these trees and down, but you can see those tee boxes look like they're already completed as well.
Yep, those tees are shaped, and we actually have the greens mix in the tee tops. We took the old greens mix out of the old greens, you know, the existing greens, and we're using that to cap the new tee tops, which is a great medium to use.
Yeah, so it looks like they're kind of digging some stuff out here on the right of the fairway, just off the tee box and going up the length of the right side of the fairway.
Yeah, this hole is, I would say, 80% shaped right now. The only thing that's lacking is down this right side, where there's going to be a large retention area / waste area. We're still getting dirt out of there. That was one of the sources for fill that we're using, and we actually ended up finding a lot more fill in there than we thought we would. So
yeah, I was talking to Jeff earlier today. He said it was actually really good, clean fill, which is really nice to hear.
Really good dirt, and we're using that as a bury site. So we're pulling out the good fill and, you know, backfilling with things that, you know, gravel and things of that nature, kind of the waste of the demolition. So as we get down here further towards the green, you know, we saw what the surround area that went down the left side of the green was. As we approach, what you'll notice that surround area actually goes out in front of the green as well into the approach. So not only will we have these catchments around that drain better, we're also going to, most all the approaches will have this better draining greens mix in the front, so we should have firmer approaches leading up to the greens, which is always a challenge for, you know, golf course management guys like myself to have firm approaches. So these should drain a lot better and should lead to, you know, some firmer conditions out front of the greens.
Yeah, nice little bunker there front left, surrounded by the cutout, low cut champion grass area. So pretty cool. While we're right here, let's just head right on down number 7.
Yeah, we're starting to make some good progress on 7. Tee complex is getting shaped out, getting bunkers in place, working on that green complex. We're still a good ways here on this hole. You'll see a lot more activity on that hole today, just because there's just so much more to do. So
yeah, a lot of action out there around those front tee boxes.
Is that the big oak trees that were down the left side that, you know, that you couldn't grow grass underneath, that were just inside the cart path, are gone now, and so now we should have some nice turf back on that golf path side of the hole, you know, and be able to grow some turf there.
Yeah, that was always a little bit ratty a little bit, and rooty, which is kind of a, you don't want to be on there, and you're always nervous over there when you're taking a swing at the golf ball.
Dangerous, isn't it?
So we're coming up, looks like they're starting to reshape out that 7th green right there. So I think that's pretty much just, I think, what are they going to take it just to a 2% grade from back to front, and then architect's going to come in and kind of start doing his magic on it.
Yep, that's the kind of the way he does it. We don't have green sheets. They just kind of, he gives them a general idea, and then as they're starting to work, he just starts, you know, painting and flagging and kind of just creating. You know, he likes to do it that way, and so far it's worked out really well.
Okay, great. Well, let's finish on holes 8 and 9 here. Okay, here we are over the tee boxes on number 8. Quite a bit different than the previous holes, where there hasn't really been any shaping or anything going on there.
No, we haven't gotten here really yet. Actually, the guys, as we get down towards the green, you're going to notice they're just starting the installation of the wall around the green complex, since they finished the 1-on-4 there. There's going to be 4 bulkheads on the golf course, new bulkheads on this golf course, at the green on 4, at the green on 8, at the green on 15, and then between 1 and 10 tees as well. It's going to be a different kind of neat look we haven't had out here before.
Yeah, as we're approaching, kind of see a little bit of the work that's been going on there. You know, going down that fairway, you could really see from up above where all the wet spots had been in that fairway for all the years, and we always knew that was one of the worst fairways, so it's kind of cool to, hopefully we're the last time, see that wet.
That cart path, the first half of that cart path actually moves to the other side of the fairway now. Do you remember that?
Yep.
Yep. So I think that's going to be kind of nice, instead of it crossing right in the middle there. That was wet around that cart path because you had to kind of hide the cart path, so you had to have it a little bit lower, and that just created a wet spot there. So that ought to be kind of nice when we're done with that.
After some technical difficulty there, we had to take the drone back to the hangar for a little bit. So we kind of saw a little bit of 8, not a whole lot going on there, but the wall. But here we are kind of looking down number 9 from the new back tee, and we'll kind of take a ride up this hole. Once again, not a ton of work being done, but it's always nice to kind of see what it looked like and where it goes to once we get done.
Well, we got a couple new tees here. I mean, notice that when it's way in the back, the new championship tee, that's going to stretch this hole out big time. Got a waste area up here on the right front corner of this lake, that not only are you going to have to clear the lake, we're going to have to clear the edge of this waste area as we head into the fairway. The one thing that most people are going to notice is this new fairway bunker that's on the right side of the hole. That one's going to be wicked. So, but we also moved the fairway bunkers on the left side down so that they're more in play a little bit. You know, before we just blew them right by those fairway bunkers. They weren't really a challenge. So this hole is definitely a little more challenging than it was before. What people will notice when you get down towards the green and when it's rebuilt is that it's going to be a little bit lower in elevation as well, and it's going to have a nice catchment area behind it, between it and the cart path. So it's going to be a nice green when that's done, for sure.
Yeah, so I know they just came out and marked the perimeter of this green this morning, And it looks like he's moving some earth around there. It looks like it's starting to take a little bit of shape. And then right there as we approach, you can kind of see where they're starting to put in some of the catch areas behind the green, going towards that cart path there.
Yep. I think that's going to be a really cool green complex when it's all done.
Yeah, it's kind of pretty cool to see where they're just moving the earth around, and then all of a sudden in 5 days they'll have a green shaped out of it.
We also have a big retention area here that's going to be on the right side of the tees here as well, where we're going to harvest a lot of our fill to be used on this hole and probably more on 1 and 10. Again, I mean, I've said it several times, 1 and 10 is going to get the abundance of the dirt. Probably 40-something% of the dirt is going to 1 and 10 because those holes are so low, they really need it. So that's what we're going to use some of this fill over here that comes from this hole on.
Well, Hal, once again, appreciate the time this afternoon. Course is really shaping up nice. Everybody I talk to, they say every time they come out, even just when they're coming down the main road or they're looking out the clubhouse, they see something different every time they come out here. And these are people that are out here 2, 3, 4 times a week. So obviously some good progress. I think that we'll probably wait until a little bit after Thanksgiving, let a lot more shaping come in so we can kind of see some more definition of the holes as those early holes are kind of being close to completion, maybe some extra bunker work being done and things like that. But it's really shaping up nice.
Yeah, we're off to a good start. I mean, we've got a long way to go, of course, but we're off to a good start. And boy, the weather is getting really nice.
Yeah, it is. And the amount of manpower you have out here the past 2 weeks in particular has been really impressive. The scope of work versus Bay Island and Marsh is so much larger, and to see this much manpower out here when we're talking about how hard it is to hire for certain jobs, and when you go out to see this kind of a concentration of a workforce, it's really quite refreshing, because that I know could have been a concern as we started out this project.
It starts off kind of slow. You got to dig, you know, you got to produce the fill that you're going to move around. You got to push this dirt around. You got to shape these green complexes. You got to shape these bunkers. And then once you get some of that in place, then you could start to bring out, you know, the guys that put in the drainage and put in the bunker liners and, you know, build the greens, you know, do all the detail work. So we're starting to get into a lot of that now. So as we've gotten into it, our group has grown, you know. So we're not quite, I don't think we've quite hit our peak yet either. So we're probably going to be adding, I'm going to guess, another 20 to 30 guys out here, you know, before it's all said and done. So hopefully within the next 4 to 5 weeks, we're going to move over into the 12, 13, 14, 15. Right now, we're actually clearing. We've got all of 13 cleared, so we're ready to dig the lake that's going to go there. We've got pretty much most of 14 cleared. 15, I'm sorry. 15
yep.
is where we're going to build the lake there. We've almost got that all cleared. So once we kind of get that clearing done, we can start moving into those holes. And
yeah, I'm really excited to get back to some of those holes. In particular, today when I was out on 15, when we show what's going on 15, when you come out, probably, you know, as people are laying up for their second shot and stuff, the views are going to be just spectacular. So I'll save it for that. Maybe it'll be on the next video. But looking forward to getting together shortly after Thanksgiving. We'll be back out here. Between now and then, as always, if you have any questions, feel free to contact Hal or myself at any time.
take care.